Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to show you guys on how to clean or bring back the shine on a blade that has been through the patina process. Now, there's nothing wrong with a blade having a nice patina to it, but you know, if you're wanting that luster that you had when the blade was brand new, then this is the video where I will show you how I'm gonna do that on my blade. So hopefully this will help you guys out if this is something you guys want to do. Now this will be done on the CRKT CEO that I did a few weeks back. I'll leave a link up in the corner to that video just in case you guys haven't seen it. You can check it out. Now this cleaning process will be the same for brass or bronze. With that being said, I just wanted to show you guys how this patinaed, and it came out really nice. Obviously I carried it for quite a while, and you can see here on the opposite side of the clip where it goes in the pocket. This is where it gets rubbed the most, so it kind of stays the cleanest. But it did definitely darken where my fingers and hands were at all times. But where the pocket clip is, I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, you can't really, it didn't really get patinaed under there since doesn't really get touched. So you can see originally what it looked like. It's got a nice little shimmer to it. And up here at the top actually had a really cool, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but it had a really cool patina where it's kind of blue and purple, just right up here in the corner. The camera can't really get it, but it looked really neat. And it's definitely darkest up there. There's a little bit of the purple. But again, a really cool patina. And nothing against patinas, but I just kind of want to bring this back to its original glory when I finished it the first time, because I will be sending this blade off to Blade Banter. He's one of the channels that I watch a lot, and his channel is very informative and I enjoy watching his videos. He was gracious enough to actually message me back, so thank you. And let's take this thing apart so that way I don't have to deal with any of the internals while I focus just on cleaning the scales. So I'm gonna do that really quick with a T6 bit, which is nice. They're all the way around and there's only 3 of them. So very, very simple knife. So here it is all taken apart. And as you guys can see, let's take the other scale here with the pocket clip covering this scale. You can see exactly how it used to look before it got patinaed. But like I said, we're going to bring it back to where it's nice and shiny. So with it all taken apart, let's go to my other office and I'll show you guys exactly how I am going to clean this and make it look really, really good. Alright guys, now that we're here in the workshop, the way I'm going to go about this is I'm going to use the buffing wheel to actually just clean off all this patina. So I'm going to show you guys that. Also, if your scales have deeper grooves or any kind of texturing that's kind of hard to get into, I highly recommend just getting a small Dremel. I think you can get one of these for 25-30 bucks at Harbor Freight. And also to get a little buffing wheel. I believe the kits come with them when you buy a Dremel, so this is always a huge plus when you have those deeper grooves in the scales. So with that being said, we're going to go over to the buffing wheel and I'm going to show you the results of just buffing over it. So here is the scale, buffing wheel. Now I already put some buffing compound on here, so I'm just going to turn it on and buff just a little section just so you guys can see it. So here it is, lightly polished, and as you can see that stain went away and it's pretty much clean. So what I'm going to do is polish all the other parts and we'll go back to the tabletop and we'll go from there. Alright, so here are all the parts polished, so it's not a high polish, it was just a cleaning. But if you're trying to clean a highly polished scale, what I highly recommend is to use either 800 or 1000 grit. You could even go higher, a finer grit sandpaper, and then go back to the polishing wheel and then just really polish it. But since I'm going to be putting a unique stone wash on all these pieces, I'm going to be throwing this into a tumbler, and then after I tumble it, I'm going to do a really light sand with 1000 grit, and I'll show you kind of what that does. So let's get the tumbler out. Now this is just a homemade tumbler, and I bought the stones off of Amazon. It's just a basic pickle jar. So I'm going to toss these in here, and then I'm going to tumble it for about, I'd say about 10 minutes. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll come back to the table. It tumbled for 10 minutes in the tumbler. Now I'm just going to wipe this off really quick. I'm going to show you guys the effect it gives it. Now again, I do like a stone wash because it does hide little dings, especially if you hit your knife on pretty much anything that's harder than the actual material. So there is a plus side to the stone wash, but what I like to do is give it a certain effect, and I'll take 1000 grit sandpaper, and I'll actually go lightly, just really light over the scales or whatever material I'm using. I do the same thing with the brass. So I'll just lightly go over it, and what this does is it doesn't really eliminate the stone wash look, and then when you go a second or even sometimes a third time in the tumbler, it'll give it a, it's kind of hard to explain, but it looks really good in person, but it'll give it somewhat of a holographic look, and it gives the stone wash a really three-dimensional look. I'll try to get it in the camera when I'm all finished and I get this blade all put together. So I'm gonna do that to all the parts, and then I'm gonna go another 10 minutes in the tumbler, and then I'll show you guys the results. Alright, so that was the 10 minutes in the tumbler for the second time, and it's really tough for me to catch it on the camera, but it's a really unique look. So now I'm going to go lightly over it again with some 1000 grit, and then I'm only going to go for 5 minutes in the tumbler. So I'm going to do that again, and then we'll come back to the table. This is the third time in the tumbler, and this should be the last tumble I do on this thing. So let's take a look at it, and that's kinda, I'm happy with it. I think I just need better lighting to show you guys, but once we're up in the studio, I have better lighting there, so I'll be able to show you guys exactly what's going on with this stone wash. Alright, so we're back up here in the studio, and I got better lighting here, so hopefully this can show you guys what I'm talking about. So you got your stone wash look right there. Very aggressive stone wash, and then in certain lights it goes away, and then you have a light, there we go, you have a light stone wash there. So again, it just kind of shifts, it just shifts in the light. So depending on where your light source is coming from, how dark the room is, I think it goes really well with the CEO. So now that it's all clean, I'll put it back together and we'll see what it looks like. So here it is all put together, and it's looking brand spanking new, just like the first day that I customized it. So I'm happy with the results, and it's already starting to tarnish a little bit from my fingerprints, so I'm going to clean it up a little bit with some rubbing alcohol just to get rid of the oils, and then I will be shipping this off to Blade Banter. So he's going to do a review on my custom work. You'll probably be seeing this floating around on some other knife channels. He will pass it through the Apex pass around. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I can't wait to see what everybody says about my work and if they think the CEO should come in either this copper style or the brass. Hopefully this video helped you out on how to take care of your patinaed blades, especially if they have a patina material on them. So thank you again for watching, you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.